Hi, besties! I'm glad to bring to you the part 2 of our story. If you haven't listened to the first part of this story, please do so that you will understand the story very well. Now, let's get straight to the story of the day. On the morning of the first day of the exams, they were both preparing. Sarah offered to help Maya iron her uniform. Maya agreed, gave the uniform to Sarah, and went to take her bath. By the time she was out of the bathroom, Sarah had finished dressing up and was ready to leave. "Won't you wait for me?" Maya asked as Sarah opened the door. "Oh, I have to read a little bit more, so I want to be in class early. See you soon," Sarah replied, closing the door. Maya quickly grabbed her uniform to wear, and what she saw shocked her. Her shirt was badly burnt. She didn't expect to see that, but she immediately brought out her second uniform and wore it. By the time she was done dressing up and got to the class, the course rep was already taking attendance, and it was just few names before hers. After her name was called, she went into the exam hall, straight to Sarah, and asked her in a low tone, "Sarah, why did you burn my uniform?" "Maya, I'm sorry. It was a mistake and I didn't know how to tell you. I'm really sorry," Sarah lied, faking an apologetic face. She totally forgot that Maya had a second uniform. She was pained that her plan didn't work out. She decided to make another plan and carry it out soon. Her target this time was Maya's books. She knew that Maya didn't like reading other people's books or textbooks, so she felt the best way to make her feel was to eliminate her books. One evening, while Maya was taking a nap, Sarah took Maya's books from her bag and hid them in a place no one would find them, and then went back to her bed pretending to be asleep. Soon, Maya woke up, took her bath, ate, and was set to study. She went to her bag to get her books, but to her greatest surprise, her bag was empty. She checked everywhere in the room, but she didn't find her books. She woke Sarah and asked if she had seen her books. "Your books? They are in your bag now," she said, stretching and yawning at the same time. "They are not in my bag. I've checked there already. I've checked the wardrobe, kitchen, bathroom. I've checked everywhere. I can't find them." Maya was almost crying now. "I have to go back to the lecture hall and look for them." She hurried out of the room. Sarah was happy within her, but she didn't show it. She quickly followed Maya to avoid any suspicions. When they got to the lecture hall, they searched everywhere, but Maya's books were nowhere to be found. They went everywhere in search of Maya's books, but couldn't find it anywhere. By this time, Maya was already crying. "I kept those books in my bag, I'm very sure. What will I read now? All my notes, everything I jotted down during lectures, where will I find them?" she lamented. Sarah smiled in her heart, but pretended to be worried. "We can read mine together," she said, knowing fully well that her notes were not updated. Maya was so sad and didn't say a word to Sarah that night. She went to the school library, took some textbooks and read from them. She could sense that Sarah was up to something, but since she wasn't sure, she decided to just watch and be more careful. She continued reading books from the library until she finished her exams. When their results were out, Maya passed well as usual, but this time she didn't show any excitement. "Maya, have you seen your results?" Sarah stylishly asked her. Maya simply said no. The next week, they traveled to their respective homes for a short break before resuming for their final year. When Maya got home, she told her parents everything that happened and how she suspected that Sarah was behind her missing books. Her parents advised her to be more careful and prayerful. The break was soon over and it was time for her to return to school. As usual, Her parents bought things for her and Sarah, and she took them back to Nsukka. When she got back, Sarah was not back yet. Maya cleaned up the room, unpacked her stuffs, and when she was done, she called Sarah to know when she would be coming back. The phone rang, but Sarah didn't answer her call. She called again and again, but still no answer. Then she sent a message. Sarah, how are you doing? How is everyone at home? Hope everyone is fine. When are you coming back? I just got back today. Please call me when you see this message. See you soon. She waited until night, but there was no reply from Sarah. She tried calling her again, but this time her number wasn't going through. Maya became worried. She couldn't sleep well that night. When it was morning, she started calling Sarah again, but just like the previous day, her number wasn't going through. Maya called her parents and told them what was going on. They calmed her down and tried to assure her that Sarah would be fine. Maybe her network is bad, or maybe her phone is bad, her mother said, trying to calm her. Maya told herself that Sarah was fine and that she would definitely come back before lectures resume. The next week, lectures started and Sarah was still not in school. Maya was worried and scared. She kept trying Sarah's number, but it was still not reachable. She sent many messages, but there was no reply to any of them. She prayed every day and night for God to protect Sarah. It was now 2 weeks since lectures started and Sarah wasn't back to school yet. One evening, Maya was on her way to the hostel when her phone buzzed. She checked the notification and it was a message from Sarah. She quickly opened it and it read, "Hello Maya, how are you doing? I know you are worried about me, but you don't have to be. I'm fine. I can't continue with my studies. My mother's sickness got worse and I have to stay here with her. Also, I'm sorry for everything that happened. I burnt your uniform intentionally and your books, I hid them too. I'm sorry for everything. I hope you find a place in your heart to forgive me." Maya was not surprised, but she was pained and wondered why Sarah would do that. She immediately dialed Sarah's number, but it wasn't reachable. And then she said, "Sarah, I forgive you. God, please help my friend." Back at Sarah's house, Madam Nneka lay on a mat. She looked tired and pale. "Sarah, my daughter, there is something you don't know. Your father's people took everything from us after your father died. But there is one thing they didn't know he had," she said with a shaky voice. "Your father bought a land 2 years before he died. Only your father and I knew about it. The documents of that land is in my big box. Please, my child, I want you to sell that land. Take the money and go back to school." Sarah was quiet for some seconds. Then she looked at her mother and said, "Mama, I will sell the land and use the money to get you a better treatment. I will go to school once you are back on your feet." She stood up, went straight to her mother's box, brought out the documents of the land and headed out to look for a buyer for the land. Few days later, she found a buyer who accepted to pay a higher price than other buyers. They signed what needed to be signed and the buyer sent her the money. After she confirmed the transfer, she handed the documents to the buyer and headed straight home. When she got home, she packed a few things like toothbrush, her phone charger, some food and other essential things, and she took her mother to the hospital. When they got to the hospital, Madam Nneka ran some tests and she was diagnosed with severe heart failure. The doctor advised that they stayed in the hospital for some days for proper treatment and observation. He also prescribed some medications for her. Sarah paid and they commenced treatment. Because of the severity of her heart failure, they spent 4 weeks in the hospital. The doctors were observing her closely, ensuring she took her medications well, and after some time, she was better and back on her feet. The doctors advised her to do exercises, reduce stress, sleep properly, and told her what to eat and what not to eat. Then some medications was prescribed for her to take, after which she was discharged. Sarah thought of going back to school, but she couldn't leave her mother alone, so she stayed back taking care of her mother. One evening, Sarah sat in the living room of her house, thinking randomly. Then she remembered Maya. She remembered how Maya and her parents had been nothing but good to her, and how she treated Maya badly. In that moment, she realized that she had let jealousy control her actions. She had blocked Maya during the last break, not because she was angry, but because of guilt. She knew Maya would forgive her, but her conscience was judging her. So she decided to unblock her and send her an apology text. After she sent the text, she felt lighter, like a heavy load had been lifted off her shoulder. Sarah started thinking of what to do with the remaining money after paying for her mother's treatments. She looked for investments to make, thought of the best things to invest in, and after months of searching, she found one. Sarah was scrolling through TikTok one day when she came across a video of a man testifying to how he invested 5 million naira in one app and received 20 million naira from the app within the next 48 hours. Sarah was immediately attracted by the amount of interest the man was paid. She went straight to the comment section. There, she saw different comments. Some said things like, "Yes, so it's very real. I received my money within the next 48 hours." And, "This app is very legit. A trial will convince you." While others made comments like, "Run oh, this one na better scam." Sarah ignored the comments that warned against the post, but something kept telling her that this was a scam. She brought out her calculator and started calculating. After selling that land, I realized 4 million naira. Mama's treatment took 500,000 naira. 4 million minus 500,000 equals to 3.5 million naira. Then I will keep 500,000 naira for emergency and invest 3 million naira, she thought to herself. She looked at the money in her accounts, and for a moment, she thought this would be the worst mistake of her life, but she convinced herself that she needed the money. She thought of how she would go back to school if this worked out, how she would give her mother a better treatment, how life would finally be good for her and her mother. The next day, she chatted the man she saw in the video and told him that she wanted to invest. The man sent her a voice note immediately. "Hello my dear, you have made a very good decision by investing with us. We are 100% legit and your money will be multiplied by 4 within the next 48 hours. All you need to do is fill the form below and send it to the email address attached to this message. Choose the package you are investing with, make your payments and send proof of payment, and then wait for your reward." Sarah listened to this voice note 3 times. She didn't want to make any mistake. She did as he asked her to do, and before she sent the money, she prayed that this was not a scam. She thought of telling her mother before sending the money, but she reminded herself that her mother already had heart failure and that telling her would probably make her worry and increase her blood pressure. She took a deep breath, filled the form accordingly, and sent the money. She sent the transaction receipt and the form she had filled to the email address provided in the message. She then sent a message to the man, informing him that she had filled the form and made the payments. The man replied with another voice note, assuring her that her money had been received and would get her reward within 48 hours. Sarah tried to relax, but something kept telling her that she had just been scammed. The next 48 hours felt like 48 days for Sarah. At night, she could barely sleep. Her mother noticed her unease and asked her if everything was okay, but she told her mother that she was fine and was just thinking about what to cook the next day. 46 hours after she sent the money, there was no credit alert on her phone. She messaged the man and the man told her to relax, that her payment was being processed and she would receive her money in the next 1 hour. She waited for 1 hour and there was still no credit alert on her phone. She messaged the man again, but this time there was no reply. She tried calling, but the number was unreachable. Sarah started feeling cold. Her body started shaking uncontrollably. She called the number and this time it didn't connect. Everywhere suddenly became blurry. Sarah fell to the ground and started crying and rolling on the floor. She didn't know what to do. That money was all she and her mother had. Now it was gone. It will never be well with that man that stole my money. You will not see anything good in your life, she cursed as she cried. After crying for hours, she picked herself from the floor, wiped her face and went to buy food for her mother and herself. She also got some of her mother's medications. After they ate, Sarah went to sit at the balcony to receive some air and started thinking about the mistake she had just made. She tried calling the man's number again, but it didn't connect. Then she gave up. She didn't cry again. Instead, she started thinking of how to recover the money she had lost. She decided to go out in search of a job. The next day, very early in the morning, she prepared her documents, her secondary school leaving certificate, her WAEC certificate. She even took her admission letter, just in case it would do any good. She searched in hospitals, clinics, health centers, even pharmacies, but no one accepted her. It was either there were no vacancies or they could not accept her because she didn't have any valid certification. After days of working under Lagos hot sun, looking for a job, she decided to look for a sales girl position. She went from shop to shop, asking if there was any vacancy for sales girl. Luckily, she found a shop in need of a sales girl. She applied and the job was given to her. Her salary was 50,000 naira. Not big, but at least it could cover for her mother's monthly medications. She worked diligently, trying to get her mind off the 3 million naira she lost. She would wake up early, prepare breakfast and lunch and head to work. When she got to the shop, she would arrange the shop, attend to customers with smiling face, and when it was time to close, she would hurry home to prepare dinner for her mother. This was her routine for months. One day, Sarah got home in the evening and met her mother laying on the mat in the balcony. She looked very sick. Sarah quickly rushed to her mother and asked what happened. "Mama, what is wrong? Have you eaten today? Have you taken your medications?" she asked. "My child, I have not been taking my medications. I am tired of taking drugs every day. I don't want to take them again," Madam Nneka replied with a shaky voice. Mama, why? Do you want to die? You want to leave me alone in this lonely world? Please get up, we are going to the hospital. She helped her mother up and they boarded a bus to the hospital. In the next 30 minutes, they arrived at the hospital. As soon as they entered the hospital, her mother collapsed and started shaking like someone who was being electrocuted. Nurse, please, call the doctor. My mother is dying. Sarah shouted, and the nurse quickly went to get the doctor. Dr. Maya came out and immediately focused on the woman on the floor. As soon as she saw the doctor, Sarah froze. Maya, Sarah said, looking surprised. Dr. Maya looked up. Sarah, she called. Maya had graduated from the university as a medical doctor and was now working in Divine Healing Hospital in Lagos. When Sarah called her name, she was shocked. She focused on the patients and left the catching up for later. Madam Nneka was given some injections and placed on some IV fluids, and soon she was stabilized. Dr. Maya called Sarah to her office. As soon as she entered her office, Maya hugged her tightly. Sarah didn't know what to do. The guilt in her heart was killing her. Maya then looked at Sarah and said to her, Sarah, I want to know everything that happened. How did your mother's condition get this bad? Why did you drop out of school in your final year? She asked. Sarah took a deep breath and started explaining everything to Maya. From how her uncles took everything from them after her father's death, to how she couldn't leave her sick mother alone in Lagos and go back to Nsukka, to how she sold her only surviving piece of land and was scammed of 3 million naira. Even how she was now working as a sales girl in the market. By the time she was done narrating her story, Maya couldn't hold back her tears. Sarah, why didn't you open up to me? We were friends, not just friends. Sarah, I took you as my sister, she said in tears. Sarah opened her mouth to talk, but no words came out. Instead, she started crying. Amidst her tears, she found her words and finally said, I didn't want to spoil your life with my boring, sad story. Now my mother's heart condition has worsened. I don't even know if she will survive. Her crying increased. Maya held her hands and assured her that her mother would survive. That night, Maya called her parents and narrated everything that Sarah told her to them. They felt pity for her and also paid for Madam Nneka's hospital bill. Maya pleaded with her father to employ Sarah in one of his companies since she didn't have a certificate to work as a medical doctor. Mr. James made some calls and Sarah was given a position in one of his branches in Lagos. Sarah was so grateful to the James, she couldn't thank them enough. The next week, Sarah resumed working in the James company. Some weeks later, Madam Nneka fully recovered and was discharged from the hospital. She thanked Dr. Maya and her parents for all they did for her and her daughter. Sarah and Maya became close again. Maya forgave Sarah and even forgot what she did back in school. Mr. and Mrs. James took Sarah as their daughter. Everything they did for Maya, they did for Sarah too. Sarah remained grateful for everything, but she lived with the guilt forever. Hi besties! Thank you for watching my story to the end. So I would like to know the lessons you learned from this story. As for me, I learned that we should not envy or be jealous of other people's progress because of the situation we find ourselves in life. I also learned that we should learn to open up to people. We don't know where our help can come from. Just like in the story, if Sarah had opened up to Maya, who knows? She might have helped solve her problems. Also, we should always follow our instincts. Our instincts never lie to us. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please kindly do so. Give this story a thumbs up and share your lessons with me in the comment section. Until I bring another intriguing story your way. Bye!